We will be displaying and discussing interpretation of the Vitruvian Man much more in detail coming up. But for now, let's this column would still represent the higher dimension, the higher dimensional flow. This would be the third dimensional, and this would be the lower dimensional. So the Vitruvian Man is a possible seventh way to approach the observation of metaphysics with a sacred geometric perspective tied in. And note that this fresh, revisited approach to the Vitruvian Man analysis was conducted while working under the assumption that since the Vitruvian Man is mainly currently recognized for showcasing the physical observations discovered over 1,400 years before Da Vinci was even born by the ancient Roman architect Marcus Vitruvius Polio, I think that's how you say it. It is suspected that Leonardo da Vinci created and conceptualized the Vitruvian Man to display messaging on mathematical symmetries and patterns observed in both the physical and non-physical realms, and that he identified a dualistic connection between the physical and non-physical realms. Additionally, such Vitruvian Man analysis inevitably led, as per this video, to the formation of 12 assumptions, which will be discussed further along in this analysis. And such 12 assumptions are based on the ultimate possibility of, asking the question of that since there are two distinct hemispheres of the human brain, could there exist two separate subconscious minds? Meaning in the mental alchemical sense, or the panpsychic sense, where one subconscious mind, perhaps the left hemisphere of mind, is of and psychically connected with the realms of the third dimension, and below, being the subconscious mind associated to the left hemisphere, being third dimension and below, where the realms or dimensions psychically connected to here and above might be related to the right hemisphere of mind. So the idea is that there's possibly two subconscious minds, one for each hemisphere, and the left hemisphere deals with third dimension and below, whatever demons and goblins connected. We'll talk about that, and the opposite. So again, one hemisphere of mind for each of the two dueling polarities. This is theorized. And a quick note that Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary defines panpsychism as a theory that all nature has a psychic aspect, and that every physical happening participates in the mental universe. And just perhaps, if one wishes to entertain the thought, experimentation, that the human subconscious mind, whether a human is consciously aware of the possibility of such a phenomenon or not, has the capability to communicate with frequencies, interdimensional entities, of which exist within the realms or dimensions of the ascending or descending variety through the subconscious realm and minds. In such a case, one could imagine that it would be most likely be the legendary goblins and succubus demons and ill-intended fairies and elves would connect with subconscious frequencies of the third dimension, connection subconsciously to the realms and dimensions below, and the sort of angelic and wispy frequencies of wisdom and temperance would surely be related to the subconscious communication and dimensionality of our third dimension and above, directionally. Only two directions is the idea. And if such were the case, given that Carl Jung believed that the subconscious mind leads the conscious mind, while a human is generally typically unaware of the fact that the the whole process is even occurring as it does, it could be imagined that it is the conscious choices we make that determines our respective metaphysical directionality, given the ultimate power of free will. So as you can go down the column, the physical human brain would be, this is all the third dimensionality, conscious mind, subconscious mind. Okay, so row by row, physical human brain. So lower dimensionality, theorized to be of left hemisphere brain, would be associated with excessive physical desires and impulses, and the opposite would be excessive spiritual desires and impulses. Obviously neither of them are optimal. Here you want to kill yourself and go to the spiritual world. Here you want to kill everybody else and save yourself. You become murderous, become suicidal. And obviously the balance, as you'll see in the Vitruvian man, there's a line that goes down the middle when you split the circle in half, and he tilts to the right towards consciousness, but balance is the key, obviously. Otherwise you want to get the heck out of this physical realm and vamos, away to source, to God, to the creator, away from the physical realm. And these are opposites, obviously. So the conscious mind is the plus minus directionality of conscious mentality means neutral. This would be negative. This would be positive directionally. So this is zero. This is nowhere directionally. This is zero, or I don't know if it's zero is the right way to. Anyway, so if third dimensionality, conscious mind, there's a lower conscious mind and a higher conscious mind. Subconscious mind, if it's third dimensionality, the subconscious mind associated to that of the left hemisphere of the brain is lower. Basic, triangular, this is circular, eternal. Subconscious mind associated with that of the right hemisphere of the brain, of the mind. Here, third dimensional impulses of the mind up for grabs, always flowing around in the third dimension, relating to frequencies of subconscious communication, which are, say, packaged as impulses sent to the conscious mind. So the subconscious impulses sent to the conscious mind, then possibly manifested into the physical realm through conscious choice, coming down free will, and through manifesting into the physical realm through conscious choice, finally into bodily actions. In other words, just because you have the impulse doesn't mean you have to manifest in the physical realm. It comes down to choice, which direction you're going to go, what tracks you're going to lay. So, yeah, you're gonna do nasty things for the demon realm or nice things for the angel realm is the idea. Theorized. See? Theorized. And then, so over here, those impulses associated the left hemisphere of the brain of lower consciousness, obviously, extreme, obviously you need some of each for balance, but in extreme sense, extreme self-centeredness, extreme narcissism, extreme solipsism, extreme self-indulgence, extreme love, and sexual, physical sense, extreme self-protection, self-survival, extreme logic, making sense of the physical world. I know everything. I God complex. I know all. Calculation as if computer-like. Just imagine how a computer would logically think of things. Oh, we got to kill this many humans to save the earth, or whatever. 2 + 2 is 4. There's no emotion. And calls for physical order, or excessive calls for physical order in the physical realm. Nailing Christ to the cross, because he was just challenging the order of the Roman system. So that's excessive, obviously, murderous, triangulation upon Christ to destroy him. And over here, these subconscious impulses, they didn't have to manifest that in the physical realm, so it comes down to choice. On the opposite, theorized to be associated with the right hemisphere of the brain, selflessness, caring, extreme selflessness. This is obviously extreme. Some of each is the balance. This is obviously the extreme impulse to care for others without expectation of receiving, extreme spiritual love, non-physical love, extreme calls to serve and help others, desperate in need, extreme calls for chaotic expression, spiritually, extreme calls to see the physical world through the spiritual lens, extreme self-restraint, physically, extremely non-self-indulgent. And in the sacred geometric sense approach, it's more of a circular geometric shape of subconscious mind associated with the right hemispheres. These are opposite geometric archetype shapes, as we'll show you coming up here exactly how you add those different angles of dynamism. And then in the middle, the third dimensional realm associated to sacred geometric approach is the constantly changing shape of the conscious mind. So if these are the subconscious, say as in this picture, if that's the brain, this should be the idea of the right and the left subconscious realm, constantly sending these impulses to the conscious mind. This shape, if you get really angry up here, you want to consciously murder, this takes a triangular shape, because this is the subconscious realm. It's extreme, whether it's annihilationism or eternalism or evil and good or dark and light or above and below. It's yin and yang. It's all the same. In the back, the metaphysics, that which you cannot see, impulses. So this conscious shape we were looking for something in between a triangle and a circle. You don't want either in the conscious mind, because over here you want to frickin' kill yourself. Like, nothing in the physical realm will make sense if you're totally circular in the conscious mind. But if you're totally triangular in the conscious mind, then everything makes sense. And, like, you're the best, and everybody else has to be sacrificed because you're just so triangular. You want to triangulate, drop bombs on people, just triangulate on your enemy and blah blah blah.